Greetings and welcome to What's New with Human Design, in which we follow the journey of the sun and the earth around the human design mandala. Hi everyone, Maggie here, and today is April 5th, 2021. And this is episode number 14 of What's New with Human Design. If you want to watch previous episodes, you can find them on my YouTube channel, which is simply Maggie Ostara. So you can just search for that and find it there. And so this is number 14, and today the sun moves into the gate 51 and the earth moves into the gate 57. Now this is super potent energy that we're dealing with this week, and it's actually really exciting to me. I think it's because I have the gate 51 defined in my chart, so it's an energy that I'm quite familiar with and that I've had to learn how to dance with, because it's extremely potent and it can kind of take over and direct you if you're not paying enough attention. Like I wasn't before I understand human design. I understood, what this energy was all about. So I'm happy to share that with you so that you can discover how to make the most of this energy this week, because it can be extremely beneficial when you understand how to use it. So in traditional human design, this energy is known as shock. Okay, it's shocking energy because it's really potent energy. In quantum human design, it's known as initiation. Now, let me just say here at the outset that quantum human design was developed by Karen Curry Parker, who is a friend and mentor of mine. And so she is the one who has developed that new language, which I'll be talking about today, and that I've been trained in with her. And so the 51 is part of the will center. Last week, we also had the will center activated through the gate 21. So the sun has moved over to the gate 51, but we're still working with that will center energy. So the will center is the center for willpower, as you might imagine. It's a motor, or one of the engines in the chart. It's also the center for value and for courage. It's like I said, it's a really powerful energy because it is coming off of an engine, and it's known in some circles as the gate of the priestess. It is definitely one of the gates of the high priestess in my work with the feminine sovereign archetypes, and because it is an energy that when you use it well, it's about initiation into higher consciousness. And the high priestess archetype has had many years of training and many years of living as the high priestess, and also of initiating others into higher consciousness of life experience that has enabled her to be able to utilize this energy in its highest aspect. In its shadow aspect, it's that way that people can use shocking energy to gain authority or to gain power over others. In its disempowered aspect, you can receive shock from others, okay, so that you can receive shocking experiences. And I have to say, I've experienced all of this. I don't think that I purposefully really used the 51 to gain power or authority over others, but I think unconsciously that energy found a way to work with my egoic self at times, and so that energy came out of me to other people in ways that wasn't necessarily comfortable for them. But when you learn how to utilize that energy, you moved in more into the awakened state. What happens is that you can tune into when it's for that energy is for the right person at the right time, in the right situation. And you can couch what it is that you want to say or the actions that you take in such a way that it will stimulate someone. And sometimes it can be disruptive, because if you think about it, right, when we're being initiated into higher consciousness, often what's happening is the veils of our conditioning, the veils of convention, the ways we've been programmed, right, are being stripped away, and the raw truth can be revealed of a situation or more about something about ourselves. And that can be pretty disruptive. And even in and of itself, it can be a bit shocking. But when it's held with compassion and love and the purpose of the highest good, then that energy is much easier to receive. So if you notice this energy arising for you this week, either through other people, because everyone's going to be feeling it this week, right? It's defined. The sun is lighting up this energy right now. So it's going to be something that everybody is feeling. And you want to take a look at, is it, whether this energy is coming from others towards you, or whether you're expressing this energy, or are you expressing this higher aspect, the awakened aspect, where you're able to see how you can use the energy to support others to awaken further? Or might it be blurting out of you? See, I have an open throat also, so I think the 51 worked with my open throat sometimes for me to blurt things out, maybe not at the right time. So you want to look at if you have a tendency to blurt, or if you're not in a habit of tuning into right timing, to really train yourself this week, to grow yourself, to be able to pay attention to right timing, and make sure that you only share when it's the right person, the right time, the right place, the right situation, so that it can be received and utilized, and not something that just comes across as, annoying or disruptive, or even harmful, right? Hurtful. And then also when you're looking at how energy might be coming towards you, because you can see, oh, that person doesn't know how to handle that energy very well. And you can see that it might not be personal. Like they might say something to you or do something that feels shocking initially, but know that that's actually coming from this 51, and it's not personal towards you. They may have lost their command of that energy, like I've been describing. Now, the 51 is also part of the centering circuit. It is individual circuitry, but the centering circuit is one of the energies that we call aura busting. Okay, the whole centering circuit is, just like the defense circuit is in the tribal circuit. And what that means, we've talked about this a little bit earlier in earlier episodes. What that means is that this energy can be penetrating, right? It can feel outward directed, and other people, it can feel pleasurable or inspiring when it's welcome and when the energy is uplifting and inspiring. But it can also be annoying. It can be disruptive. It can be even be harmful. It can feel invasive if it's not handled well. So like I said, everyone's going to be channeling this energy right now. So you will need to pay extra attention both to how your energy is moving out and also how other people's energies are moving towards you. And again, realize this is not personal, but it's important that you take responsibility knowing this, that you manage your energy well. Now, individual circuitry is not tended to be so directed towards others. Individual circuitry is about being different. It's about bringing change. It doesn't fit in. It's not usually all that concerned with fitting in. And it's designed to create new forms. It's designed to bring new mutations into the world. It's a really great one of the three main circuits in the human design chart. And it's a really great wave of energy to help us to move forward into the future by creating new ways of being in new forms. So you might just be looking for that for yourself, because the 57, which is where the earth is, which I'll get to in a minute, is also individual circuitry. So both of these energies are individual circuitry. So you may find that you have access to new ways of experiencing your life, new ways of doing your work. You may feel extra support for you in terms of projects that you're working on. You may receive some insights about how to, like if you're working on a program that you're developing, or if you're writing a book, or if you're writing a song. You may find that there's some extra support coming in for you around that through this individual circuitry. So be aware of that, and also through the 57. Let me just take a look at my notes here, see if there's anything else I want to say about the 51. The main other thing I want to say about the 51 is that This week, its mate, the 25, which is on the G center, is also defined, and Mercury is in that gate, is lighting up that energy. So it's connecting the will center with the G center. Now, the will center and the G center are the two aspects of what we think of as the heart center. And so we have the whole heart center defined this week. And that channel is known, it's in a traditional human design, it's known as initiation, and it's also sometimes known as the gate of the priestess, or the channel of the priestess, or the channel of the priest. So because the 25, when we talked about this a few weeks ago in episode 11, when the sun was lighting up the gate 25. So you can go back and look at episode 11 again on my YouTube channel if you want to find out more about that energy. I'm not going to go into it in detail today, but they're connecting here, and the 25 is the love of spirit. It's this beautiful, uplifting energy that helps us to connect to the all that is, or to the universe, to know that we have a place in the web of life, and that we are not alone, and that we are really deeply connected to all life forms, and to our earth and to each other. And so this is the part of the compassion, the lovability of the G center. So know that you have all of the heart energy awakened and alive for you, particularly through that particular channel during this week, and that it will aid you to come from that place of love with the courage that you need, perhaps, to be able to express aspects of yourself, particularly the aspects of yourself that have to do with initiating others, initiating yourself, or receiving initiations from life, because the flow of life also initiates us into many different experiences. So the Earth is in the gate 57. This is also an energy I know really well because it's defined in my chart. The gate 57 is on the spleen, and it is part of the knowing circuit, so it's also individual circuitry. And it's known as the gate of intuition or the gate of instinct, depending on which system you're referring to. And all of the gates of the spleen center are known as fear gates. And the 57, the fear of the 57, is the fear of the future. Now, given the state of our world right now, we still have a pandemic going on. In some places, it seems to be increasing. The economy has been hit hard, along with a lot of businesses, along with a lot of individuals. And so it would be easy during this week to have that fear of the future be extra stimulated in you. So my suggestion is to pay attention to what's happening with you emotionally, where your thoughts are going. And if you're starting to notice that the fear of the future is really getting activated or getting extra stimulated, to make sure that you take some time to really breathe, do some long, deep breaths for 5 to 10 minutes. That can really help calm your nervous system. And then also to look around in your life and see if there's real and present danger. It's a little bit tricky because it's the fear of the future, so you're not necessarily going to see it. But for those of us who don't have real and present danger immediately in our lives, and I want to fully acknowledge that some people do, okay? Some people do live in situations where they may be subject to attack, okay, or other forms of danger. So I acknowledge that. But for a lot of us, we don't. And it's like a phantom that we create. And then we stimulate. And so that can extra happen this week. But when you're able to move through that fear of the future, you're able to go, oh, that's just one of those spleen fears, and I can put that aside. Then your intuition will blossom. The 57 is traditionally known as the most intuitive gate of the entire chart. I don't actually know if I agree with that, but that is the way that it's traditionally known. And so it can be a way for you to really be connecting with your own deep intuition. Now, if you're not particularly used to doing this, the simplest, most ready way for you to do that in a human design context is to be tuning into what your inner authority has to tell you. Your inner authority is your most fundamental source of intuition in the human design system. I'm not going to go into what that's all about. I have a whole video about inner authority again on my YouTube channel, so you can go check it out there if you want to know more about it. But basically, you know, if you're a generator or a manifesting generator, it's your gut. Okay, it's your gut feeling. It comes from your sacral. For projectors, it's usually talking things through. For manifestors, it's paying attention to that creative flow, and for reflectors, it's tuning into the message and the inner knowing that you received throughout the course of a moon cycle. So whatever your particular type is, whatever your authority is, the point is to kind of slow down and really pay attention so that you can switch out of any kind of instinctual fear, any residue that you have of the fear of the future, and flip over into the power of your intuition. And when you combine this, when you have that power of your intuition as the foundation of how you're experiencing your life, then you're going to really be able to feel the energy of that 51. And you can initiate yourself. You can make a choice right now this week to initiate yourself into a higher expression of who you are, to initiate yourself out of whatever you feel has been holding you back, whatever baggage you might have been carrying, whatever old stories or beliefs or programming or conditioning has been kind of weighing you down. You can initiate yourself out of that into a new reality using that energy of the 51. Okay, have a great week. If you enjoyed the video, please let me know what landed for you. Include any questions. I will come back and check that later. And have a great time initiating yourself into higher consciousness, founded on the power of your intuition. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment. Many blessings, much love. Bye for now.